All right, Robert, I'm going to try and make this quick. I'm sorry, I meant to get this video to you yesterday, but I lost my voice entirely. It's come back for the most part. I'm still a little Barry Whitish, I think. Definitely about an octave lower than normal, but I'm feeling okay, and that's what's important. Anyway, this is the proposal that I drew up for you, and I just want to walk you through it really quickly and discuss the basics. I mean, it's a pretty basic proposal. It's covering the three areas we really talked about. Which was search engine optimization or SEO, pay-per-click marketing, particularly managing and helping with your YouTube and your Facebook, and then of course ongoing marketing, consultation, etc. Copywriting, advising on how to approach various advertising campaigns and video ideas and all of that. So it's kind of a big catch-all. This will be for me a more hands-on account than some. When I'm doing just straight SEO, it's always hands-on. I do it all by hand. I do it all myself. But there's definitely a lot more that's going to kind of go into this one if we do the full agreement. And of course, if you want to do just part of the agreement, we can edit or amend things. But I'm going to give you the full kit and caboodle here, and then we can remove things if necessary. I always like to cover this with my clients. These are the terms. I'm going to read them right here. Obviously, you can read them yourself. But basically, we agree to follow industry standard best practices when it comes to search engine optimization. We follow, generally speaking, the guidelines laid down by Google for improving search engine rankings. However, according to Google's own criteria, any attempt to affect rankings in the search engine results pages, or the SERPs, is a violation of their terms of service, which is silly. But it could result in a penalty. We've had no previous clients ever have a penalty, but it's not inconceivable that at some point some penalty could happen, and we always stress that. So should this happen, we will undertake in good faith all efforts to reasonably overturn or remove any penalties against your site due to our actions. I don't think that'll be an issue, but I always include that in there because obviously we got to cover our bases and we got to cover your bases. From time to time, Google does make sudden drastic changes to how its algorithm ranks and displays information in the search engine results pages. We will always attempt to give optimal placement within the SERPs to you, especially page one, and ideally high up on page one for the selected keywords. I'll go over some of the proposed keywords here in a little bit. Note well also, SEO is a process that can yield immediate results, but which generally is actually a slow climb to the top. The understood duration of this agreement is probably about 9 months, unless either party issues a notice of cancellation, which we don't do contracts, but we do expectation, right? So my expectation is we're going to be working together for at least 9 months, and ideally longer than that. And because, if we work together for 3 months and you're like, well, I don't see any results in SEO. I'm like, well, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 months for Google to really even move its butt at the end of the day. Because Google, we call the Google Sandbox. And basically, if Google thinks you're moving too much, they're going to put you in the sandbox and just kind of watch and see what happens. And they want to see consistent activity that's expected and normalized. So what you'll see, a lot of amateur SEOs will do something like they'll start building huge backlink campaigns, and the target site will be rising, and all of a sudden it'll drop, and they'll panic, and they'll do one of two things: either double up the number of links that they're sending, or they'll start removing links immediately, which is highly suspicious. And Google knows this stuff, right? Most people don't know that Google knows this stuff, but Google is smart and getting smarter all the time, and they're always looking to suss out various mediocre SEOs. So bear in mind that the search results will change, but it is a slow climb because we have to follow what our industry standard best practices. And honestly, most of the time we're defining what industry standard best practices are. We will make a monthly ranking report available to you. It'll come from one of our ranking sites. ProRank Tracker is the one we use currently. And it'll basically come out every month and show you where we've gained and where we've lost. And ideally, you'll just see a continual trajectory up towards page one. All work should be able to be performed via phone and internet communications. I don't usually travel out to my clients. Should you wish for me to travel out and be physically available, you will make arrangements and cover all costs of transportation, lodging, and meals. So if you want to come and hang out or something, you want to take me out there and we can go hang out, that's fine. But generally speaking, I just do everything remotely. That's the cool part of my job. Your signature below on this document will indicate the acceptance of this SEO proposal and enters into a contractual agreement with our company, Hundreds of Customers LLC, beginning on the date of your signature. Your initial payment per the terms above will also represent acceptance of this proposal and entrance into the contractual agreement with Hundreds of Customers. Payment or the signing of the document signifies you also acknowledge that the services that we provide are not tangible physical products, but are intangible services of consulting on your business, including assistance, ranking in the search engines, and general marketing advice. I have to put that in there. This has never happened to me, but I have a friend who runs an agency, and he collected, I think it was like $200,000 over the course of a year from a client. And then that client, I don't know if he sued him or if he went to the credit card company or something. And he basically said, I don't agree. I know that he didn't move me where I wanted. I mean, he did. I mean, he literally got him to page one, but then the client was just like, I want my money back. I think the client was facing like a divorce or something. Anyway, he wanted as much money back as he can get. And so he went, and my friend couldn't show, a tangible gift or tangible product. And so the credit card company or whoever it was that made the decision ultimately said, you know what, you got to pay him back. That sucked. So I have to put this in there. We've talked this over with a couple of attorneys, and this should be sufficient to cover my butt. So, all right, pricing. This is what you probably want to see. SEO is expensive. This is going to be a nationwide campaign. We're going to be going after some major brands like Hallmark and American Greetings. I actually priced this higher initially, but I dropped it back down to what is my standard rate. I priced it higher initially because some of the keywords we were going after were incredibly difficult. We're talking, on a scale of 1 to 100, anything above 65 is just ridiculously difficult. Because you're going after, you're talking about sometimes an 18-month climb on those. But I went back and I retooled the keywords we're going to go after, and I'll show you those here in just a minute. So I actually dropped this back down because I think that, I don't want to bilk you for, you can pay me whatever you want. You can pay me extra if you want. Don't pay me whatever you want. Don't pay me $5. You can pay me, a bonus if we start going after some higher keywords and ranking, but I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste your money. And I want to go after things that I think you're going to see a real benefit from. And so that's why I've priced everything that I have. So the SEO is going to be the major component of what we're doing, and that's getting you to rank online for terms like these. Oops, there we go. So these are some of the keywords we're going to go after. This here's my difficulty score. It has been edited and adjusted by me. I actually dropped a lot of these down to under 10. And this one, I think this is actually a 10, not a 1, not a 0. These zeros. There we go. But most of these, see, I don't know. I copied this over from another page, and some of these didn't stick. I don't think I had any that were 2. 2 doesn't make sense. All of these should be, I think. Yeah. But anyway, that's not going to affect anything on here. That's just giving you an idea. I did have 3s. I didn't have any 2s. So this is super long tail. This is easy to rank for. This is a shorter tail, shorter words, and as a very common search phrase. You can have a little bit more difficulty ranking, but honestly, not much. My general guidelines is anything from 0 to probably 30 puts you in the green. It's an easy keyword to rank for under normal circumstances. Anything about 31 to, let's say, 55 or 60 puts you in what I call the yellow category. And then anything from about 55 or 60 on up puts you in the red. And that's where you start seeing, either higher spends or higher search volumes. This one was an interesting one. This is actually a 20. And when I saw this one, I was really kind of blown away. So this is the words we'll be going after. And we'll go after all of these. Some of them will pop sooner than others. And of course, if you want to edit these or whatnot, I have a whole spreadsheet. I can send this to you full of other keyword ideas right here. You can see there's over like 1,000 of them. But these are some of the ones I think that are most relevant for what you guys do. And some of those are things like e-cards and stuff. But this is roughly how many searches happen every single month for those keywords. And this is if you were to go into AdWords and bid on page 1. This is what you'd be paying. So the market value of these keywords is represented right here. So what I'm hoping to gain for you is about $250,000 in advertising value on a monthly basis. And that's why SEO is expensive, because there is a lot of money represented in here and a lot of people vying for this space, even if the actual cost per click is low. And it has to be, because of course you're talking about something with a 99 cent to $2 value, generally speaking. So these are the keywords we'll be going after in this SEO campaign. We can definitely definitely add more on as we go. And we will want to add some specific ones on as well. So for instance, I didn't include, let's say, Halloween cards or, other holidays you want to go after, and we can include those down the road. But I just wanted to get something on here that made sense. So SEO is the main thing that you will be paying for. I will also be doing paid search consultation on this project. Particularly, I will be monitoring, guiding, and helping to adjust the targeting and everything else on your paid search. That includes particularly your YouTube in-stream, anything you would be doing with AdWords in general, and Facebook. Those are the three areas we'll be covering. Our regular monthly retainer, that's just $2,500 regardless of ad spend. If you're spending, north of $100,000 a month or more, then the fee goes up. But generally speaking, this is a pretty fair fee. And then, of course, general marketing consultation. I will make myself available for a minimum of 2 hours a week or 8 hours per month via phone for you to call me up, talk to me, whatever you need. And then the cost of that is just $1,500 a month. And this, I don't know why this is here. I'm using a brand new piece of software. We just switched over to Panda Docs. So this is, I tried to take one of my old proposals. You're literally the first one I'm sending on this. So if I biffed it, let me know. But that is the basic proposal that we are submitting to you. And here's a couple of testimonials down here from some guys I know. And then down here at the bottom will be actually a spot where you can cover the first month payment using credit card or Stripe, and then we'll make arrangements to get your payment information for the future months. But I always include this in here. I think I said this a minute ago. This is it's generally understood to be at least a 9-month long agreement, but I totally understand that situations change, and I don't ever want to lock somebody into a contract they simply can't get out. If you ever decide that we're simply not a good fit together, basically give me a 60-day notice. And that'll give me time to, end the various campaigns and things I'm doing, because there's a lot of expenses that go into SEO. It's a very complex process, especially to do it white hat and to do it safely. And so it takes some time to wind down what we're doing. And honestly, if we just stop immediately what we're doing, it can actually hurt you, because if Google sees activity, nothing, that looks suspicious as well. So we have to kind of wind down what we're doing over the course of about 2 months if we ever do end. Now, what will probably wind up happening is once we get you to page 1, the SEO part of this, unless we keep going after more keywords, will drop down. We have a maintenance level SEO. It's about $2,500 a month. And that'll just help us keep your rankings where they are, keep them consistent. And then we'll continue to do whatever else you need us to do. Anyway, I hope this all makes sense. I hope this seems pretty fair. I tried to make this sound reasonable. I don't want to blow out your budget. I don't want you. I've had people say, well, I don't have to remortgage my house to afford you guys. But at the end of the day, what I'm going to try and provide you guys, and what we are going to provide for you guys, is about $250,000 in advertising value every single month with SEO. And then, of course, I'm a firm believer that, in fact, I think I put that on here. You put on my other things. Yeah. Marketing should pay for itself. So, with my guidelines, with what I do as far as helping you guys with the paid search, targeting your Facebook ads, doing some, copy work on your page and everything else. I think what we're going to see is really, really quickly, I'm going to start paying for myself anyway. That is usually what happens with my clients within the first 2 or 3 months. Usually I'm paying for myself. I'm a little apprehensive about how quickly that'll happen with this, just because A, the SEO side is going to be a little more complex, and B, I know that your actual cost per client or your revenue per client is a little low. It's just a couple of dollars, I'm assuming, per client. But down the road, one of the things we can do, we'll sit there, we can talk about, and that is included in all the consultation, everything else I'll do for you, is ways that we can build some sort of a continuity program to get people on board. Maybe it's $10 a month, and that gets them three cards handwritten per month, right? So they get a discount if they do $10 a month or $9.99 a month or something along those lines. And I'll help you implement those things as well. So you get me. Again, this is going to be more hands-on for me. So the price is a little higher, but because I don't want to leave you guys in mediocre hands, this is going to take more of my time to really, especially early on, do a lot of the work to get things set up. But I'm really excited, Robert, to work with you. I really think that you strike me as the type of guy that I would get along with really, really well. I like your company. I like your sense of humor. I like your product. I think there's really a market for it. And yeah, so all of this will be included in the proposal that I'm sending to you. I just put this video at the top to walk you through it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will be in touch. Oh, you know what? I meant to show you this stuff. So I was looking through some of your other stuff as well. I do like your ads. I like your dog. Again, I like your sense of humor and everything else. Oh, hi, Frank Kern. So I was looking at some of these. So yeah, at the end of the day, and this is free advice, but it is what we're going to wind up doing. A lot of your ads, my biggest issue is a lot of them are more geared towards getting viral shares, which is good because that is a good way to get your name out there. But most of them really aren't geared. It's just, buy this online. This is a weird card, by the way. And I understand the reference. Um, but, you know, this is definitely going to target a certain group of people. You're targeting, women 18 to 44 in a handful of different locations. I think a lot of these are going to resonate more with guys than girls, but I understand why you're targeting this one the way that you are. So we're going to work on a lot of that targeting and whatnot. But anyway, a lot of these, at the end of the day, I think that there could be a much clearer call to action. I mean, buy this card online sounds good, but that honestly, I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means am I buying an online card that people play a video, and it's gonna raise questions. I did watch the video, and it still wasn't made 100% for certain. But I think that we can clarify your I hate trite business jargon, but if we can get like a mission statement that is what we do at Memory Tag Cards is make amazing cards that you can get handwritten and delivered for $6, and they're funny and hilarious, and we can include a crisp $5 bill or a gift card wherever you want, for things like that. That is a real selling point for a lot of people who don't have to mess with that stuff. And I think that's where a lot of your value is going to live, because people don't mind spending $6 on somebody's birthday, especially if they know they can just go and spend it and it's done. And if we can turn some of those people into repeat buyers, we can offer them kind of an upsell, like, hey, so you bought one, how about buying this package of 3 cards? And then and we'll have to figure out how to do some of that inside of Shopify. I know you can do it, so they can buy like a gift card that covers the cost of 3 more cards, something like that. So maybe for $15, they can get 3 more hand delivered cards. And so it's kind of an upsell. And that way, for every person who buys one, they wind up buying 3 or something like that. So anyway, inside of a lot of your advertising itself, inside of a lot of your AdWords videos, or your YouTube videos, inside of your Facebook stuff, what I'd really like to see more than anything else would be that kind of a call to action that tells people exactly what they're going to get, because that's really what it's going to resonate. I mean, it sounds boring, but people want to know what they're seeing and what they're getting, and they want it to make real clear sense. And so the other thing we may wind up doing is playing around with your actual site and how you prioritize what it is that you're selling. So some of the stuff you guys sell may wind up being, $6.99, or just buy the card and have it shipped to yourself for $2.99 or whatever the price point is. So, all right, now I'm rambling. I'm going to stop. I hope you found this video helpful, and I will be in touch. Thanks, Robert.